Great fishing is not that far away. Welcome to Illinois Outdoors with Don Dziedzina.
How we doing, everyone? Don Dziedzina here for Illinois Outdoors, and with me is
Jim DaRosa from the Fishing and Outdoor Radio Show.
Hey, we've got something special for you this week. You know, we got out of our houses this morning and found out that it was 28 degrees, and you know what that brings, don't you?
I tell you, cold weather means duck hunting and ice fishing, but I think we got a little ways to go for ice fishing.
But with that in mind, what we're thinking of doing is going over to the Bolingbrook Bass Pro Shops and go through their ice fishing section and go through a bunch of the different things that they have there so that you, as an ice angler, can get geared up and ready to go as soon as the word comes out for first ice.
Yeah, we're going to take you through clothing and tents and shelters and what's new and rods and reels and everything you're going to need to know about ice fishing for this coming season.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to start out, we're going to talk with Jeff Hall, the manager of the Bass Pro Shops.
Hello, I'm Jeff Hall with the Bass Pro Shops in Bolingbrook, Illinois, the general manager. We've got, the seasons are changing, ice fishing is rolling in, we've got the holidays coming up. So we're going to take you with Don and Jim. We're going to walk through the ice fishing department. I got a great staff here. They're going to show you everything that you need to get set up, whether you're a novice or an expert at the ice fishing category. So if you'll follow us, and we'll have a great time and show you some great equipment.
What a great opportunity we have here to bring you some information on ice fishing. With the season just starting, we've got a lot of things to show you, so let's get that ball rolling. One thing you got to remember with ice fishing, best thing to do is always keep safety in mind. And that's why I wanted to show you a bunch of the different products we have. Everything from cleats that you wear on your boots so you don't slip and fall on the ice, to things like right here, ice picks. This ice pick here, it's real simple to pull apart. And what you do is you take it, you put it just into the ice. If you should fall in, you can just pull yourself out. And the way to keep it together is just like this. You know, just hold it together like that around your neck. So you always have it handy. Great thing to have. Bass Pro Shops has a variety of different ice picks that are available for you, just like they have a variety of different cleats as well. But you know, you might have to go back to your boat and borrow that cushion that you have. Every boat's got to have a throwable cushion, but if you don't have one, pick one of these up. Put a rope on it, attach it to the sleeve, and then when someone should fall in, you can toss it out to them from a distance and help pull them back out. Great idea. One thing that's very important is never go ice fishing by yourself. Always fish with a friend. The most crucial time to remember this is when there's first ice, when the ice is relatively thin, and never walk side by side with your partner. Keep a little distance in between yourselves. Safety first, always on the ice.
Obviously, any ice fishing adventure wouldn't be an adventure without good equipment. And it all starts with quality rods and reels. As you can see here, there's a wide variety of spinning and ice fishing reels, from your traditional spinning rods and the inline reel. As you can see, it kind of reminds you of a fly reel. It kind of has the appearance of a fly reel, and it has some of the same advantages. The biggest advantage this has over the traditional spinning reel that a lot of us use while ice fishing is we don't get the line twist on it. It also is a composite material. It doesn't tend to get cold like a metal or a metal type spinning reel. It's got a large crank handle on there so you can take and reel in your fish and your line while you have your gloves on. Very lightweight. This is the newest thing for rods and reels in ice fishing. This is another type fishing rod and reel for ice fishing, and it's a jiggler rod. If you notice, it's a longer rod, and the reason for the length of the rod is for the guys that are out ice fishing that have maybe several holes drilled. They can walk from hole to hole and be able to dunk their lure into those holes without having bending over or getting real close. Again, it's inline, no more line twist. It's got a nice handle to crank on. But, you know, for the guys that want to sit in a tent or sit on a bucket, you know, here's one thing you've got to have, and that's a rod holder. You got to have one of these as well.
Holy cow, look at all these baits. I'll tell you what, there is a lot of baits that are available here at the store, and they go from hard baits to soft baits to plastics. We've got jigs, we've got spoons, we've got minnows, we've got everything that you can think of right here. They come in all sorts of shapes and all sorts of sizes, all sorts of colors. Bass Pro Shops has them all. I'll tell you what, you got to get a bunch of these baits, and the reason why is because you just never know what these fish are going to be biting. And sometimes they end up biting nothing but live bait. So Bass Pro Shops here actually carries waxworms during the winter season, and then just pick up one of these. A bait puck is to put your waxworms in there, and instead of using the plastic containers they come in, you can use these. They're hard plastic, and you can put them in your pocket. You know, once you get all your gear together and everything else, you do have to get it out on the ice. You can't be carrying it underneath your arms, you know, after all. The best way to do it is to get it into an ice sled. Bass Pro Shops has a variety of different sizes, small, medium, and large. And just to give you a little idea of what you do with them, is you take them, you put your gear inside of them like that. And just for example, some of the things we have here, we have an ice scoop here. Now this is a large one. You go and dip down without bending over very far, and you can get quite a bit of ice out with one like this here. A little bit smaller one, if you want to scale down, you get like this. What you do is you get the ice and stuff out of that hole, and that way it doesn't mess up with your line. You can see your bobbers and your floats working just right. So you got to have a scoop. That's very important. To clear some of the snow away, they have a small shovel here. This one actually is collapsible, so that when you're actually packing up to go back in the car, you can actually shorten it up and put that away. If you have a 5-gallon bucket that you're not using, you can get one of these Plano bucket toppers. What it has is a couple of compartments. You can put jigs and lures on this side here, you can put some more jigs and lures. Really works out really well, fits right perfectly inside a 5-gallon bucket. If you want something that's all-inclusive, already made, this one here by Bass Pro, it's their deluxe fishing bucket. It's got compartments on the sides. You can actually put your rods in there, you can put your scoop in there, and then your little tackle boxes and stuff with your rods, for your rods and reels and stuff, you can put them inside here. Works out really well. Got to get yourself a sled though, in order to get them out on the water.
Hello, I'm Shannon Johnson, Executive Director for the Williamson County Tourism Bureau. This year, we are celebrating 25 years of promoting memorable travel experiences. Whether you favor the outdoors, sports, unique cuisine, wine, or just relaxing with the family, you can find it here in Williamson County. I'd like to personally invite you to come and explore a region full of adventures, wrapped up nicely with true Southern charm and hospitality. Can you picture yourself in Southern Illinois? We can.
If you have a boat, a big boat, a little boat, power boat, fishing boat, an inboard, an outboard, freshwater, saltwater, whatever kind of boat you own, you need to use Marine Formula Stable every time you fill up. Marine Formula Stable prevents corrosion caused by moisture in today's ethanol-blended fuels and cleans the fuel system to improve engine performance. Marine Formula Stable. Protect your fuel at every fill-up.
Mercer, the loon capital, is home to the turtle flambeau flowage and Wisconsin's favorite outdoor playground. With over 377,000 acres of public land and 125,000 acres of water, Mercer is your go-to destination for fall hunting and fishing. In Mercer, Wisconsin, you're with family and friends. Make plans to visit Mercer today. I'll tell you what, they've got some really nice ice suits on display over at Bass Pro Shops. these ice armor suits are really kind of neat. You know, the thing is that they're waterproof, they're windproof, and when you're out on the ice, what you don't want to do is you don't want to get cold, you don't want to get wet. This one here, this blue one that we have here, comes in different colors, but it's entry level. It's a little bit less expensive. You want to spend a few more dollars to get like the ultimate in ice suits. You can get one like this here, you know, where it's got all the necessary pockets. It's got big pockets because sometimes during the winter you got big gloves. And then right here, like in the pants, these are really some pretty nice bibs. They're pretty heavy. They're very, very warm. They have reinforced knees because how many times are you on your knees while you're ice fishing and stuff? You won't be soaking up water. You'll have a little bit padding on your knees. You can really button yourself up, stay out of the cold, stay out of the wind. I'll tell you what, ice suits are a must. You know, as long as we're talking ice clothing and stuff like that, you got to cover up your head, you got to cover up your hands and stuff in order to stay warm. Sometimes you're going to be extremely cold, and sometimes it's just going to be a little bit of a chill, you know. So you look in the store here, and you're going to see a variety of different products that you can get. Just for example, like this one right here. It's a nice armor cap. It's got bill, so it helps you with the sunlight and stuff. But it covers up the whole face and everything else. Really kind of a neat thing to have. All right. For less of a cold day, something like this. All right. Another thing, it's got a bill on it, and then you can unzip that. And you really want to get warmed up, this will come around, cover up your ears and such. Pretty neat. Gaiters are very important. These are gaiters that you can put around, wear it just like a neck, you know, keep that warm. Very nice. Fragel's got a real neat hat. I really like this one here. It's really kind of neat. Put it over the top of your head. It's got the built-in muffs and everything else, comes all the way down. But if you want, if it's a little bit too warm, then you can just fold it up like that and just have a little bit less of a hat. Gloves, keep the mitts warm for extreme cold. They've got mittens. They've got really heavy-duty gloves. And then you've got a little bit less heavy gloves and stuff like that. But the Fravel products, the ice armor products, they come in a variety from extreme cold to just cold. And yeah, I'll tell you what, check all their products out, and you'll find the right ones for you.
You know, perhaps one of the most important tools you can have, if not the most important tool that you can have in ice fishing, and that's a way to be able to poke through the ice so you can get to that open water. It's the old hand auger. You know, very portable. You can put it in your sled. You know, and while we're at this end, at the working end of the auger, the cap is very important. The protective cap, whether it's electric or hand. If you're not using it, make sure you always have this covering the blades. The blades are razor sharp. I know guys that have gotten cut out there, and it just ruins your trip. And you know, the blades can also get nicked, so it also helps them stay sharp as well. You know, the Bolingbrook Bass Pro Shops has a great variety of ice augers, from the old traditional hand auger that we just talked about to a wide selection of gasoline ice augers as well, including 4-cycle. There is some, when you're out shopping for an ice auger, there are some warnings on some of them. They don't necessarily want you to use the E85. So, you know, keep that in mind when you're picking them out. The gasoline augers have been around and really improved. I remember some of the early versions that I had. They were hard starting. I'll tell you, with the technology that's available today for gasoline augers, you can usually get them started in 1 or 2 pulls after you prime them up. Great variety, 2-cycle and 4-cycle. You know, something new on the market too, in addition to the gasoline ice auger, and that's the electric rechargeable ice auger. You can get 48-inch holes on a single charge, enough certainly for 1 full day of fishing. You know, another option you have is a propane. This is a Jiffy Pro 4 ice auger, runs off of a standard propane tank, hand start. So again, another option. You've got your choice of the old-fashioned hand ones, the gasoline 2 or 4-cycle, electric, and propane. Come see them at the Bass Pro Shops.
You know, there's something else that you got to remember, Jim, is that at the store here, they also have things like the oil. that you might need for your gasoline. You've got covers for your blades. You got replacement blades here. Just about every other component piece that you might need for your electric or your hand auger. You know, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be back with more of Illinois Outdoors in just a moment.
Grundy's Honker, the Central Zone's newest duck and goose hunting club, located in Braceville, less than a mile west of Braidwood's Cooling Lake, where the water never freezes. Grundy's Honker offers some of the best duck and goose hunting in the Chicagoland area. Enjoy your hunt from large heated pits and above-ground blinds in cornfields and next to water. Experienced guides will make sure you have a great time with hunting memories that will last a lifetime. Check out Grundy's Honker's website at grundyshonkers.com or call at 815-448-BANG. That's 815-448-BANG.
Franklin County in southern Illinois is home to beautiful Rend Lake. 19,000 acres of great fishing, hunting, and boating. Rend Lake Resort provides lodging and dining right at the water's edge. You'll find all the amenities for sportsmen, from guide service to fuel, bait, and boat docks. Nearby, Rend Lake Shooting Complex features skeet, sporting clays, 5-stand, and more. All accessible by paved cart paths. Let us entertain you, Franklin County and Rend Lake in beautiful southern Illinois.
Boulder Junction, Wisconsin is the muskie capital of the world, offering you a chance at a true trophy. But Boulder Junction offers more than just muskie. Fish for walleye, pike, bass, and panfish on 194 crystal clear lakes. If that's not enough to lure you to Boulder Junction, how about free bait? Just stop in the Boulder Junction Chamber of Commerce office and mention Illinois Outdoors. You'll receive a voucher good for free bait. Visit boulderjct.org for details. Start planning your Boulder Junction fishing trip today. The Kankakee Valley Park District presents the Gotcha Outdoors Adventure Sports Show on January 5th and 6th. This year's featured speakers are the pro staff of Takedown Outdoors. This year's Gotcha Outdoors Adventure Sports Show is sponsored by the Kankakee Valley Park District, Cabela's, Center Shot Archery, and the Kankakee County Convention and Visitors Bureau. So save the dates and come on out to the Gotcha Outdoors Adventure Sports Show on January 5th and 6th. For more details, visit gotchaoutdoors.com.
Come and discover Kankakee County. You know, there's one thing I have to explain to my wife all the time is that I need a real big tackle box. And one of the reasons why is because of all these things that I need to put inside of it. But actually for ice fishing, the tackle box can be a little bit smaller because a lot of this stuff is very, very small. Just to give you some ideas of some of the extra terminal tackle items that you might need is things like spring bobbers and things of that sort. You know, they have all sorts of, here's a strike indicator by Bass Pro Shop. You know, you just attach it to just about any rod that you have. It's a light line wire that you run your line through, and when you get just the slightest little bite, boy, you got a hit. You don't use a bobber when you have one of those, but if you're the kind of guy that likes to use a bobber, then they have a whole assortment of different bobbers here. Some of them that are small as your little fingernail. You know, they really work out well. They even have the slip bobber kinds for, like, if you're fishing in some pretty deep water. Slip bobber is where it's at. Tip ups. Now there's some guys and gals out there that enjoy fishing for walleyes, northern pike, and the best way to get them is by having like a big golden roach or something like that at the end of the line. You put it on a tip up, you let that run over there and set, and then you step back, and now you're fishing out of an ice hole with your rod and reel, and you just keep an eye on the flag. Tip ups, they run in all sorts of shapes and sizes, and basically what happens is once you get it loaded up, there's a spool of line here. Once a fish hits, the flag comes up, and that's your indicator that there's a fish on. Okay? There's a large variety of tip-ups here. We've got all plastic ones, plastic and metal. We've got wooden ones here by Bass Pro Shop. We've got a magnetic tip-up that's right here. We've got some really big ones, pretty nice ones that are made by Frable. These are nice. There's another one that comes up with Frable. It's wooden ones. These are for the big pike and for big walleye. There's a great assortment ones. You even have some smaller ones that are right here that are by Frable. This one here, the Ice Spider, that's a really neat one. You know, we've learned a tip from one of the Frable reps that people are wondering, you know, What happens when we go out crappie fishing and all of a sudden it stops? What they told us was you drill a whole bunch of holes in the circle around where all the guys are fishing. Each guy will take a pit tip up and put it here or there. All of a sudden, when the crappie stop fighting here, they may see out in that direction that one of the tip-ups went up. That's because the school of crappies floated off in that direction. Now everybody moves off. All kinds of different tip-ups that we have here. It's just a great assortment. You got to visit it and get ready for the ice.
You know, one of the things you've got to also remember is the business end of the lure and nets line. If you're like me, my ice fishing stuff's been sitting around in a hot garage for the last year or so. I know that line is bad. Bass Pro Shops here in Bolingbrook has a wide selection of ice fishing lines available. The newest stuff out are the fluorocarbons. They seem to be gaining a lot of popularity. They tend to sink versus float, so jig fishing, you have good sensitivity. And Bass Pro Shops has their own brand of fluorocarbon. It's called Excel Ice. 2 and 4 pound test is our recommendation unless you're going for big northern.
That's pretty neat. You know what? There's a lot of room inside this tent. Tell you what, Frable Refuge. Plenty of room for 2 anglers. They can have 2 holes each. You got this window that opens up right here. There's a window on that side. There's a window on that side. Window on the back door, so you can get ventilation on all 4 sides. Man, that's pretty neat. Frable's got a whole bunch of tents. For the serious ice angler that wants to get out of the cold, you can take a look at any of these. Take a look at this one. Here. Got windows in this one. Room for 2. Actually, you can put maybe 3, maybe 4 anglers in this one, or 2 real chubby guys with a lot of clothing. Look at the size of these seats. Sit back, relax, fish in your ice hole. Let's see the next one. This is nice. This one looks like it has a couple of like seats that you have in your boat. They're adjustable. They move left and right. Big opening in the back. Check this one out.
Shoppers, $2 today equals more fish for tomorrow. Stop by a checkout counter.
I would imagine in here you can probably have at least 4 holes to work out of.
More fish than planned. Fill out the form, make your donations, and you can win
Nice.
a $500 Bass Pro Shops gift card. More importantly, though, money raised goes to protect and restore. Since 1900, 123 freshwater species have become extinct.
This is a 3-person tent.
39% of freshwater fish
The
risk
Predator.
extinction.
Very nice.
For every dollar donated,
Now here's this one here. I tell you what,
please join us.
Jim and I, we were up in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, and we were fishing Lake Winnebagoche, and they had one of these tents out there, and it was a cook tent where they had all the food. That was really neat. Come on around this way and take a look on the inside. Intense. This is really something else. Look at the size of this thing. Almost 6 foot wide, almost 12 foot long. It's a 6-man shelter. It is perfect for the large groups of people that want to go out and just enjoy the outdoors, enjoy some ice fishing. The Frable headquarters.
You know, live bait fishing is very popular as well, but the biggest challenge when you're out there in the ice, and you know, we're talking about air temperatures that'll get well below 0, is how do you keep your minnows alive? I know minnows are very popular bait if you're bluegill or crappie fishing through the ice. A lot of bait buckets are available, but what you want to look for, especially when you're ice fishing, are bait buckets that are insulated. Prevents the water from freezing inside, thus killing your bait. Frable's got a great one out. It comes with a little aerator to keep the minnows alive. A nice little dip basket that you can pull out so you're not dipping your hands in cold water to reach for that minnow. Separates. And again, it's got a nice thin, thick insulated wall to keep the water from freezing. Check them out. Here's something pretty cool by Plano. It's a little bait bucket that you can wear on your belt, very portable. It's got a small compartment up on top in which you can store your small ice fishing jigs, hooks, sinkers, that type of thing. And then underneath is a fairly large compartment that you can store your bait. I think it would be perfect for those small bottles of gulp or power bait and any of the other ice fishing baits that are out there.
I'm not going to say an awful lot about these. One of the final things that we want to show you and bring to your attention for the ice angler is electronics. Kind of like an important thing for the guy that wants to really take ice fishing seriously. Electronics, flashers, things of that sort, they will help you see if there's fish down there, help you find structure. It'll actually show you fish coming up to your bait so you can take it. And just a few models that we want to show you here, we've got the Showdown that Markham has. This is a handheld. That's for when the guys want to do a lot of running around on the lake and checking different spots. We've got a little bit larger units that are made here by Markham. Nice flashers. Humminbird, they have one as well. There are all sorts of models and makes of flashes that are available. What's also available is underwater cameras. Now that's really kind of neat when you want to kind of like see what's going on down there underneath the surface of the ice. If the water's clear enough, you'll see fish and you can actually watch them take your bait, see them on their little fight and getting them back up. So electronics, another one of those things that are pretty important to the ice angler. For the guy or gal that wants to really be portable, Aquaview's got a real neat handheld unit. It's got the little camera here, and it's got the little camera down here that you drop down into the water. Looks just like this. And I'll tell you what, if you want to be mobile and you want to move around a lot, you don't have to carry a lot of gear. I'll tell you what, this is kind of a neat product. Oh boy, I tell you what, I'm going through the store here. I tell you what, looking at all these different baits, all the tackle, the rods, the reels, the ice shelters, the whole 9 yards. I'm getting excited about ice fishing.
Well, I am too. It's 20-some degrees outside today, but it's not. It's not that far away. I think what I'm going to do when I get home, Don, is I'm going to inventory my ice fishing gear, which I need to do anyway, and then I'm going to get over here and start filling some of those gaps.
Well, we're going to take care of that, and we're going to get ready for the ice season. So I'll tell you what, go over to the Bass Pro Shops in Bolingbrook and check out their entire line of ice fishing gear. And we know that this show is also aired in the area of Gurnee and in Portage, Indiana. So check out the Bass Pro Shops, go to their ice fishing section, and you know what you're going to find out when you do that?
What's that, Don?
You're going to find out that great ice fishing is not that far away. Until next week, I'm Don Dziedzina.
I'm Jim DaRosa.